Hey, what's happening, everyone? Today, I'm going to be telling a story about the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. For viewers of a younger age, or people who aren't really that interested in pain and suffering and all this other stuff, don't watch the video. But this is a story, and this is based on real life events. So, I work in a restaurant. Right, that's my job outside of this, right? I work in a restaurant, but before I started cooking the food, I was washing the dishes, right? You know, that's basically how everybody starts. They wash the dishes, or they do serving, or, you know, that's how they start gathering their name in the business, right? So one day, it's a Friday, right? The restaurant's busy, booming, right? I'm having to run quickly, right? This is when I was wearing my steel toe caps, right? And, you know, the restaurant, it doesn't have like a elevator for transportation, right? You don't use the elevator, like, to be fair, we do have an elevator, but you don't use it to transport said plates up, right? It's only good use is to transport things downstairs to you, but at the same time, we don't have a busser that can put this sort of stuff in, you know, the elevator for us, right? We have to do all of that, so we're running up and down constantly, right? So I had a shit pair of steel toe caps. This pair used to like untangle and all this other stuff all the time. I had to always retie them constantly.
That's what got you into this mess in the first place.
So I had a habit of just carrying plates one-handed, right? Climbing up the stairs, climbing down the stairs, right? I just did everything one-handed, so then it would get me through the day quicker. This day was different. The floor was a bit more wetter. And simply had a full stack of plates and fell up the stairs. Like, you know, when you're walking or running up the stairs, you kind of just trip. Now, this hurt like a bitch because our stairs are made out of like a particular type of steel. So not only did this hurt like a bitch, but my arm, like, out of the impact, right, went right through the plate, right? The plate went right into my arm, right? Now the next part of the story are events that most people would say I'm talking bullshit. But I tell you right now, you ask anyone from the restaurant that I work at right now, they will confirm this 100%, right? So I get back up, right? And there's a plate sticking out of my arm, right? There's blood slowly coming out, right?
I didn't sign up for getting my ass kicked.
I pull this plate out of my arm. Now I know you're not supposed to, right? But you know, that's what I did. Right? I pull this plate out of my arm. There's a child sitting there looking at me, crying. Right? And I walk up the stairs, and there's just blood squirting right out of my arm. And our sous chef walks up to us and goes, no, don't come up, don't let the customers see you. Right? So we head down to the prep kitchen sink, and like she's trying her hardest for me to put pressure upon the wounds, right? This pressure, you know, and getting the first aid kit. Now our first aid kit was shit because in this sort of situation you have to apply what they call a wet dressing, and this was a dry dressing, so this hurt like fuck. But I'll tell you that later on in the story, right? So they put on the dressing, and I had to sit down at our staff table, right? They're giving me like these sweets called Love Hearts, right? They're like really sugary sweets, right? I'm sure the majority of people have probably had them, right? But you know, to bring my sugar levels up, so the body produces more blood, I guess. So I, you know, eat these sweets, right? And I'm just sitting there, right? And the music's playing in the restaurant. I'm sitting there singing, right? I'm having myself a good time, right? One of our training managers, right, looks at me and starts going, wait, this guy's just went through a horrible injury and he's sitting there dancing and singing, right? And then our assistant general manager walks up to me, right, and goes, how you feeling? Are you okay? Yada yada yada, right? Like, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm alright, you know? And she's like, aren't you the slightest bit scared at the fact that, you know, you've got a hole in your body now? I was just like, well, the only thing that's wrong is that I'm bleeding, but you know what, everybody has blood. And she looks at me with the most shocked face ever, and then she goes, yeah, but not everybody has blood squirting out of their arm, right? So, you know, she then just unbelievable, right? Because I essentially act like a robot, right? And then I walk up to my sous chef, right before I get, like, you know, sent to the hospital, right, from my dad, right? You know, sous chef looks at me, and the first thing I say to her is this going to affect my pay? Because at the time, I was looking for money, I needed the money, and the only thing that was going through my mind was just, man, is this going to affect my paycheck? Am I going to have to pay for the plates? Right? Just anything that involved money, I was thinking, oh my god. So there's a couple bonus stuff, like that's the incident, there's a couple bonus stuff in the story. Like, you know, we were sitting there in the waiting room, waiting to be, like, looked at, and, you know, they had to inspect the wound, obviously, so to inspect said wound, right, they had to tear off the dressing. Now, because it was a dry dressing, not a wet dressing, it's like if you've ever had, like, tape and you've, like, attached it somewhere where you know there's hair on your body, so you just kind of peel it off. You know what? It's like wax, right? So when you get, like, wax strips and you just peel the fucker off, that's what it's like, but on a fucking open wound, right? So I'm sitting there, like, holding my breath, right? Trying not to make a reaction, right? Now, this isn't just the only thing that happens, right? This is an open wound, right? So there's a doctor sitting there, right? Blue-ass gloves, and she starts putting her fingers through it, right? She starts, like, trying to, and obviously she's trying to check to see if it's went anywhere past the muscle, but she's sitting there, like, poking through it and all this other stuff, and I swear on it, I felt everything. And this is without, like, she put like 6 shots of anesthetic in the arm, but it didn't matter. I still felt it. I still felt every little bit of pain that was happening. So after all of that, she's like, I can't repair it here.
Get yourself
right, like, you're gonna have to go into the hospital, right, but obviously it was just skin damage, right, but I have to go into the hospital. So I end up going into the hospital the next day, and honestly it was like utter hell, right? I was hungry the majority of the time, and, you know, when the surgery happened, there was a guy there, pretty nice guy, he was like, you ever been under, like, severe anesthetic, so, like, knockout anesthetic, you know?
I don't think this
it's
tower
like,
malfunction is from storm damage. I need to set up a crime
scene and I'm like, no, I've never had this happen before. Right? I'm knocked out next minute, I wake up, right? I don't remember a single thing, and suddenly my arm is repaired, and there's fucking needles, like, sticking out of me, obviously, to keep the fluids in and all that sort of stuff.
I should head for Jezebel
Plaza.
Plaza.
I swear on it, it was the itchiest thing in my life, man. Like, I spent the majority of the time trying to itch at it, but I wasn't allowed to, and I basically had 3 weeks off work. Now to most people that's like, yeah, I would love that holiday, but for me, I needed the money, right? I was like, what? And they were thinking about like getting me up there to, like, I was just about to get up to that chef level before that happened. I think I would have gotten to that chef level and proved my worth if it wasn't for that accident. And you know, so short story is that shit happens. But if you guys enjoyed the story, I hope to tell more stories in the future. You know, look at the descriptions, you'll see the link to my book, Love Only Blossoms Once Every Autumn. You'll see the socials, well, I say socials because it's like my Instagram, down in the description. And if you want to see this gameplay and the stuff that I've cut out of the gameplay, you can head over to twitch.tv/KSPix, all one word, and spelled with a Z, not an S, right? All underscore, right? And there'll also be a link down in the description too, right? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a nice thumbs up. That way I know that this video was enjoyable for you. Give me a comment on what your thoughts were about the story, or maybe other things that you maybe would like to hear about, because I have stories about other things that might be a bit of advice towards other people too. But I thought this one would be a really funny one to tell. So yeah, peace out.